Hey everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. So I didn't know when I put that first, I'm going to call it an episode, why not, of what are we thinking out there, that I would have another segment that fits that so soon. And this time the fingers are pointed right at me. It's something I chose to do that probably demonstrated questionable judgment. We'll go with that. Questionable judgment. Makes it sound so much nicer, doesn't it? Let's unbox my questionable judgment, and then I will attempt to explain why I went down this road. I'm a little concerned. This is unorthodox packing, to say the least. And to be truthful, I don't know how I'm going to get into it. Alright, there she is in all of her glory. A John Deere 550 CS. Now, if you've looked through my collection, you know that I have a John Deere 550 CS. So you're going to immediately ask, well, why, you idiot, did you buy another one? That's part of the fun here. That's part of the what the hell were me thinking on this one. Okay, let's go through it first, and let's do an assessment, and then I'll tell you what I know about it based on the description. So I knew coming in that this logo, this sticker, which is an unobtainium, was going to be jacked up. Totally knew that. I knew there was going to be some paint fade on the starter, or not, plastic fade. The plastic and the metal painted parts don't match anymore. Okay, it is what it is. This is an old saw. There's not much left of that tag, but I can see a J and an R, which means I'll grab the sheet and not speculate. I want to say 96. 1996. Uh-oh. 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 That sucks. We'll come back to that. Alright. Handlebar is actually bent. This has been very strongly impacted. I don't know by what or how, and how it didn't damage the saw itself. I see this screw is loose. These may not be the right screws in here. They may be bent, but it didn't break the tank, and that I'm grateful for. Now, there is some damage that I wasn't anticipating. One of the isolators right here is, the casting's completely broken off, so that isolator is useless. So we go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this is now a 5 isolator saw. Not the best thing ever. I'm not enthused about that. That was probably in the pictures and I missed it. So let's keep going around. The throttle safety is not working. Does that mean it's a broken spring? I don't know. I'm assuming the rattling I'm hearing is tank retainers, but maybe not. Oh yeah. Yep, the little beaded chain's broken off. No giant surprise there. We've got a crack in the upper cover here. Cannot say that I noticed that in the listing. I'm sure it was there. A little bit of rub on the paint there that may or may not have occurred in shipping. This was not going to be a full pristine shelf queen. Clutch looks good, rim looks good. Not a bunch of chain rash on the chain catcher. That is abnormal. Okay, chain brake is complete. Stickers missing. Band isn't totally shot. It's got some wear down here. I think these might have been known for that. And that looks okay. I will, of course, be doing a lot of cleanup on this. Got it the original bar. This is a Windsor style. Would have had John Deere on here. Top rail's pretty. There's no belly there, but there's definitely a channel cut in there. This is going to see some time on the bar shop. And we've got some other goodies here. Like bucking spikes and bar plates and a chain, the bar nuts. Just wanted to look at this chain. Alright, the chain's not original. I wondered about that. This is a steel chain. I was really hoping to see like a saber or something like that, but the steel chain will actually cut better. Alright, we've gone almost all the way around the saw. Let's finish it up. I see some damage. What the hell? It's almost like the wrong nut was used, maybe. I don't know what that's about. Maybe that's just paint that was pulled over. Muffler is complete. That can be painted if I get that far. Alright. So I bought it with the understanding that it needed a piston and cylinder. Why would I do that? Well, it is apparently locked. Now, I see that the tabs are pulled off of, or bent off of the bolts here. So that probably means that the seller opened this up and took a peek-see at it. And these bolts are loose, or screws down here are loose. Or loose-ish, I should say. I didn't need another project, but like I say, I've got an idea. I've got a plan with this. And I didn't want to see it just get parted out. And that will not be what I do with it. Provided I can avoid it. And I think I have as good a shot of avoiding it as anybody. That's not meant to sound arrogant, it's meant to be. Alright. The piston is stuck at the bottom of its bore. I'm trying to see if there's any indication that it's been pushing metal. And that just looks like carbon. But I can't turn it over. So, let's be stupid and see if we can turn it over. Oh, God. That's not great. Boy, I'd like to know why it's actually locked up, folks. Ugh, auto light. What the why? Why would you do that? Yep, somebody went through this a little bit. This was loose too. It's brand new. At least it looks like it. I am under no illusion that penetrating oil is going to fix this saw. I just want to be able to roll it over and see what we can see. Oh! What the hell did I do? Did I slip the... Oh! Oh my. Well, shit. That's grinding. Okay. The piston and cylinder are complete and total trash. Disappointing, yes. Unexpected, no. Okay, so I've got a mess here. I'll deal with that in a minute. Okay, what the hell was I thinking? Like I say, I didn't want to see this saw parted out. This is way too uncommon. I think rare is probably a safe word to use. I don't know how many of these were sold. I have talked to a fellow collector a few times over the years. He and his brother bought some of the last ones that were available in the United States back in the day. So God, I want to say his name was David. Can't remember now. It's been too long since we've chatted. Yeah, everything's complete. I'm looking at the carburetor here and all that. This is going to take some work to bring back, and like I say, I don't need another project. I need it like need a hole in my head. But I've got a path forward with this, and some fun stuff I want to do. Where'd I put it? There we go. Years ago, and I want to say this was about the time, there's no date on this shipping label. Yes, there is. One of 2019. I actually thought this was an older... I'd had this longer. I don't know why I thought I might need it someday, but I decided to put it in my personal collection of Shazat over there, and I'm quite glad that I did, because yeah, now I've got somewhere to use it. Now it's funny, this is a thick ring piston, and those rings have a slight coating of rust on them from improper storage, not here, prior to me getting it, so I've got to clean that up. But this should be a dead ringer. I don't think I can see. Oh yeah, I can. Mall 54Z and 11. Right there. So that was what I was thinking. Okay. Now, it's been long enough ago, a whole 3 weeks, since I bid on this, so I don't remember exactly what it ended up costing. If I didn't have this, it would have been more than it was probably worth to me. Somebody might have paid it, but if you don't have a piston and cylinder laying around, the few collectors that do have them, they're not going to let go of that. If you went on Facebook right now and said, hey, I got this saw and I need a piston and cylinder, there'd be some thumbs up, a couple of big laughing emojis, and a few guys that would comment and say, good luck with that, even if they were sitting on one. Honestly, I would probably do the same thing. I knew years ago, that's why, and I give credit to Jim, Dozer Dude, for this. He said, you know, when you come across some really rare stuff, you might consider holding on to some of it just for a while, just in case you need it. Case in point. So I'm super stoked about this project. You know, I don't have time for it, but I will make some time because I've got a few ideas. I want to go through this and clean it up. The first bath is before it ever even gets torn apart, and that's part of why I wanted to get this thing to turn over, see if I could get it to the piston up high enough that I can hose things off and not worry about, there we go, not worry about getting water down into the crankcase. This is messed up bad. This thing probably seized while it was running, so I'm hoping it didn't damage anything else in the bottom end. I'm hoping. But this is a twin to the 8800, okay? The metal fuel tank and throttle handle. So, worst case, for internals, I can go looking at some 8800 stuff. Not that there's a ton of that crap laying around either, but there's some. And this top cover, I think I ought to leave it alone. I'm tempted to try and push it down and back into shape, but I might just blow it out because it looks like somebody else has already glued it back. In fact, I'm pretty certain somebody else has already glued it back. But that muffler can be cleaned up, painted. I can go through and do my normal treatment on this. So, in the end, what is this going to cost me? Let's wait and see on that one. I don't know. That'll determine on how big the what were you thinking factor will be. And the fact that I already had one in my collection. It would have been easy enough to just let this go, let it be parted out, but I couldn't. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So, here it is on my bench. That's what I was thinking. For better or worse, that's what I was thinking. So, I'm the goon today, but we'll get a couple good videos out of this one, because if we get it running, there will be one final surprise. And we'll get it running. We'll get it running. Come hell or high water, we will get it running. So, there we go. That's what I was thinking. We'll catch you guys on the next video.